What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Oh, these car rides are never easy. What's going on, everybody? Good morning. How y'all doing? On the way to work because reasons. How's it going? Good morning, good morning. Ooh, child, is early. I'm not used to this. Just wanted to have a car ride live chat with you guys, see how you guys are doing. Happy Monday, I guess, for those who like me that enjoy sleeping in. This sucks, but you gotta do what you gotta do. What's going on? Yeah, y'all see the headline. Figured I would talk about only this aspect of it, since after the hey, good morning. Good morning, Martha. How are you? Good morning, everybody. I figured I would talk about this because of the memorial things that have happened over the past weekend with Charlie Kirk, and then all of the stuff that Candace Owens has been saying. I'm curious to know what does Trump think about Candace Owens now? I don't think she's saying anything to make the situation better. I think she said a lot of crap. She has said a lot of stuff, but she's certainly not doing anything to really help the situation. And even I noted in the last video I did on her, I noted that she said she wasn't going to go to the memorial service. She's lying about the lawsuit with the Macrons and just simple stuff that she can read and all of this. And this is after he called her allegedly and told her to leave the Macrons alone. I'm just curious to know where his mind is now with this, his mindset with that. Hey, Miss Boogie Down, how you doing? Good morning. So you guys let me know what you think, because I find this very peculiar how he's very quiet on Candace Owens. He's not saying a whole lot, and I get it, right now. He seems to be, highly upset about Charlie Kirk's passing and whatnot, and you think Candace Owens would. Most people who are upset, they're not all over the internet talking about, oh, it's these groups of people over here that did it. It's these people over here. What about the cameras? What about this text? He's just they're all taking it in, and they're trying to digest what happened on national television, except her. I get it. Everybody have their way of grieving and everything, and I understand that people are going to grieve differently. But the way Candace Owens is moving, I'm just curious to know what is. Trump hasn't really said anything about her directly, and I'm glad he's not. I'm glad he's not entertaining her, because it'll give her more ammunition to want to go back and forth. But I am beginning to kind of just wonder. I'm just curious as to what is, I guess, what does Trump think about Candace Owens at this point? If you can be deterred by some comments, and they had fireworks for Trump at Charlie's funeral. Yeah, this guy, hey Javar. Hey, I saw a little bit of it. I didn't see it all. And y'all know I'm not political or anything. I don't, when it comes down to it, when you stand before God on Judgment Day, he's not going to ask you if you voted for a Democrat or Republican. But I'm just kind of curious to see, or to just see, why is he so quiet about her? Because she's gone off on Charlie Kirk's pastor. She has gone off about the Turning Point situation. She's lying about the lawsuit with the Macrones. She's like slandering people, accusing her of slandering them left and right. It's so crazy. I love you forever and always. Hey, Jeffrey, how you doing? Oh man, all you have to do is have eternal life. Okay, now, amen. Y'all better pray. I just think it's sad the way she's going out right now. She's crashing out. You going off on a pastor is something else. Like, criticizing a pastor, telling him to be quiet because this isn't the time to sit here and for her to put herself on the top of the pedestal. Talking about how she feels, disregarding how, don't you think Charlie Kirk's wife feels some type of way? I mean, the whole conspiracy stuff, it the dramatic shift from the Macrones and all of that to Charlie Kirk. And the conspiracy theories are still just as crazy and out of pocket with no evidence. Well, we've all seen the camera footage. I think I was one of the first ones to mention, and I'm still talking about how there was no gun on the, well, the shooter didn't bring a gun to the roof. How did the gun get there? Was it put there previously? The indictment has not mentioned much about how the gun was already there or him bringing the gun there to the top of the roof. That's an unanswered question that needs to be answered, because it will help the jury give a better ruling in the hearing. But that's speaking on the charges in the indictment. I don't have to theorize anything with that. I just want that to be addressed with evidence. But she is sitting here talking about, this is all Israel's fault and all this stuff. It's like, how do you think the relations between the U.S. and Israel is going to go if Bibi Netanyahu ends up filing a defamation lawsuit against Candace Owens? How's that going to go? How does she think that's going to go? Like, if it comes down to that, and let's say Netanyahu has to sue Candace Owens, y'all know how crazy that's going to be? Like, she'll have two world leaders having a defamation. He decides, I'm tired of this. She's going to get a lot of people hurt. She's going to get a lot of people killed over her rhetoric. People are going to be targeting Jewish people. I'm suing her. What if he decides to do that? Y'all, it would be crazy. That's something that, I mean, who does she listen to? Would it take Trump for her to actually stop or to calm down a little bit? Like, that's, y'all let me know, because I just, like I said, I'm not overly political. I don't keep up with any of them like that. But I only been reporting on Candace with the lawsuit stuff. On tangible information I can, read and see for myself. I don't get into conspiracy theories, but I know what she's saying about, this being, trying to blame it on Netanyahu and the Israelites and Jewish people and all this. It's going to get people hurt. It makes no sense. And you got to have some evidence. It's okay to have questions and doubts about certain things, but let it be something legitimate. But I'm curious to know what does Trump think about her at this point, because this is crazy. She about to catch a whole lawsuit from a whole nother world leader. She cussed the pastor out. Yeah, I got so much content. It's sad. It's really sad. And I don't think Trump is going to continue to sit back and let her keep spewing out belligerent nonsense about Israel, knowing that, they just wasn't there some airstrikes that just occurred a couple of days ago. Like, there's a whole nother ballpark of things that need to be handled, things that need to be addressed, and that needs to be worked out. But you would think she would just go to the memorial service and just be there for her friend's wife. Like, this is crazy. And has he said anything about the airstrikes? I mean, what's going on? Last time he did drop the F-bomb, Israel don't know what the F they're doing. But he said it about both countries. He expected them to have a ceasefire. And so far, is the ceasefire in place? What's happening? Like, that's something that, you know, needs to be focused on, not them catching heat for Charlie Kirk and then have to turn around and figure out why were there airstrikes on Hamas again? Like, what's going on with that? Goodness gracious. So y'all let me know what y'all think, because this is out of pocket. This is getting out of pocket. Hi, Auntie. How you doing? The hand signals behind Charlie. Hey, sis. How you doing? Hey, Manny. How you doing, Manny? Kelly says some hand signals. The world is a stage, and she just reading the script. She was handed. She was a Mason at Turning Point USA, Turning Point to NWO. And now they've given the company over. Hey, Bougie Barbie. How you doing? So now they've given the company over to Erica Kirk, right? So what's she going to do, have a gripe with Erica Kirk? At this rate, she didn't get, I mean, she could have probably gotten now ownership of the company. But, you know, you got a whole lot of stuff going out. When she's saying all this stuff and it's going out that can hurt people, like, she got to think about, like, what is the true effect of all of this that I'm saying? It can hurt a lot of people, put a lot of people in danger. And they did, rightfully so, they gave it to his wife. I don't see anyone else that could have taken over like that except Erica Kirk. Like, this is so crazy. I'm already in the office, sadly. I'm trying to get there. Y'all think Trump done with her for good or what? You know, she did support him and all that good stuff. She voted for him. Y'all think he done with her? Trump had already called Candace and leave the Macrons alone. You think he gonna call her and say, leave Netanyahu alone? Hey, from Cubicle Chat. If Trump calls Candace Owens and says, can you please leave Netanyahu alone? I don't have time for this. How you think she gonna take that phone call? It's just like, dude, he's not gonna say anything. I just don't want anybody to get hurt. I don't want more people to get hurt. I think what we all witnessed, we don't need to witness it again. I can't get down with nobody being live executed. I can't get down with that. That's crazy. In front of children. Like, that's insane. 47 people watching, 9 likes. Y'all better hit the thumbs up. Good morning, Candia. Good morning. Y'all good? Yeah, I wanted to just do a quick chat with you guys on my way to the office. It's going to be a minute. And then, you know, we got to be talking about Umar this week. He's got more videos out. Trying to keep up with that dude is crazy. So we're going to go over his interview he did with Father Baba Yaga, whatever, because that needs to be discussed. It's like you got Candace acting like a little mini, I don't know what's going on with her. I think she's just snapped. I think she's unraveling. She needs to take a couple days off. And then you got, you know, Umar Johnson being a wannabe cult leader. And the worst part is they both have a huge platform where millions of people are following them. And they're being reckless. They're being reckless and dangerous. They both are. So, you know, I think this whole attack on the free speech thing is getting out of control, because now you're not going to be able to say anything at all without worry about losing your job. And then you got someone saying a bunch of things that seems like the only person she would listen to would be Trump. And he's not saying anything to her. So I'm thinking he just kind of disconnected himself from her. Because otherwise, she going to keep hammering in on this stuff with Israel. And it somehow Israel's connected and can't prove it. Once again, what are we going to have a 9-part series on that, Candace? Are we going to get a 9-part series on how you think it's Israel's fault about Charlie Kirk? It makes no sense. So, I've never seen this level of boldness with people making allegations and they don't have evidence to substantiate it. I got a lot of questions about the logistics of the shooting itself, but I'm not blaming any party except the one that's been charged. Outside of that, if there'll be any foul play from, Israelites or, Jewish individuals or Netanyahu or whomever, produce the evidence. People are going to have their opinion on what they believe as far as, Israel's role in the conflict. People are going to have their opinion on that. And I think the only thing that Charlie had an issue with, and I saw the Megan Kelly, is it Megan Kelly video where she had talked about her conversation with Charlie Kirk. They basically were just saying they're getting backlash from saying one or two things that were just critical of how Israel is handling this whole conflict. They were just speaking about the backlash of it all. But it doesn't mean that they're no longer like supporting Israel either. That's so crazy. It's like me being, a member of my church. I say a couple things to my pastor that might seem like constructive criticism. And the next thing I know, all of a sudden, I'm no longer a Christian. It's outrageous and it's extreme to say, oh, if you're not saying every little thing we want you to say perfectly, now you're no longer pro-Israel, pro this and pro that. That's how you end up with people forced to have to choose a side. And that's dangerous. It takes away free speech. It takes away independent thought. And it takes away critical thinking skills. It's like you become mindless, sheep, just following along. You should be able to say, we don't like what they're doing over here, but we still support them overall. That's the whole point. So I'm curious to know what Trump is saying about all this with Candace Owens and her asserting that, Netanyahu and Israel and all this had something to do with Charlie Kirk's death, because that's a mighty bold accusation. That's a bold accusation when you don't have a lot of evidence to support it. So you guys, listen. Now we have to go out and everywhere we go, we got to pray. We got to, be protected. Ask God to cover us and keep us safe, our children. The same day Charlie Kirk was shot was the same day another school shooting occurred. And the school shooting didn't even get half as much attention as Charlie Kirk did. You had kids die that same day. So we got when it's just a bunch of evil stuff going on back to back to back to back, I would just, don't make it worse. Just report on the stuff, Candace, and be done with it. But I think he's getting to a point where he's tired of her. Trump is sick of that girl. Because he's seeing people having to respond on something they shouldn't have to respond to. Donald Trump was like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of that stuff. That school shooting was barely even mentioned. Exactly. It was barely even mentioned. And children died. The school shooting was, didn't even get, 30 minutes of airtime? There's so much that could be discussed that's going on at the same time. It's simultaneously happening. And when she was obsessing over the Macrons, people kept saying, how many critics were saying to her, why don't you focus on stuff going on in the U.S.? Why don't you, if anything, put some more added pressure on Trump to release the Epstein files? You want to do something useful, put some more, added pressure on Trump to release the files. You got this huge platform. You worried about the French president and his wife and all this. Why don't you get Trump to release the Epstein files? Stuff like that. And just add that pressure until it's done. It's so crazy. They already blocked the files. And so that's something that she could have been advocating for. She could have done a petition for. She has a huge following. There probably would have been a little change to occur had she focused on something like that and not the First Lady of France. First Lady of France does not affect our quality of life here in the United States of America. It just doesn't. I don't care what Brigitte was born as. Nothing about Brigitte affects our quality of life in the United States of America. Has nothing to do with us. Nothing to do with us at all. So, hopefully, if the person she listens to the most is Trump, because she definitely probably ain't even listen to her husband, Trump need to call her and say, look, Yahoo is going to damn sue your ass if you don't stop. You know, going off on Charlie Kirk's pastor. I've never seen that level of disrespect where somebody just goes off on a pastor. And this man seems like he's really nice and cool. I don't know anything about Charlie Kirk's pastor, but just the way he speaks, you know, in the way he carries himself. I mean, he's not perfect. No one is. But he seems like just a very cool, laid-back pastor. Why are you going off on this man's pastor? That's so disrespectful to be disrespecting, you know, Charlie Kirk's pastor like that. I mean, if she does this to a pastor with no remorse, I don't know. I don't know if Trump could say something to make a difference. And I'm saying him because, you know, she claims he is somebody that calls her directly, and maybe she'll listen to him, because otherwise this is going to get worse and worse, and it's going to put more lives in danger. So on Tuesday, I'm going to be doing a live stream of all of the commentators and all of the warnings that Candace has received, where people are asking her to tone down the rhetoric or produce some evidence so that it's not putting like Jewish lives and Israelites at risk of having some sort of threat of harm, you know, thrown their way, because it's bad enough. It's bad enough. You know, they got to try to do something about the Israel-Palestinian conflict over there. It's bad enough that they got to still somehow work something out with that. All the resolutions have been passed. Nobody's adhering to any peace resolution. That's bad enough. But to make it worse by saying, oh, he has something to do with Charlie, of all the people who speaks out against Israel, he's going to go after Charlie Kirk? How does that make sense? It makes no sense. I can see the comments scrolling up, guys. I just can't read it right now. This isn't, I don't get involved in politics. I don't take one side or the other. It has nothing to do with Democrat or Republican. This is a matter of people's lives and people's safety, and, you know, holding down the integrity of free speech and expression and free press. If you call yourself an independent journalist, you go out and make those type of accusations, you need to have some evidence. And if she can't do that, she needs to stop, because it just sounds like she's going crazy at this point. You know, I didn't mind watching her piece on the BLM founder who spent all that dumb, you know, money buying a dumb house and stuff, because there was facts and evidence to back that up. So I don't like corruption either way. I don't care who it comes from. But this whole stuff she's got going on, it's erratic and it's out of pocket. And to go off on that pastor is just absurd. And it's like, you know, feels like Trump just ignoring her ass at this point. It would be nice if he said something to her, but he's just ignoring her ass. So, I don't know. Y'all think Candace gonna calm down or what? Is Trump gonna have to intervene? That's what I'm asking. Because that seems like the only person she listens to. Is he gonna call her and say, look, Netanyahu about to sue your ass. You might want to shut up. This is not even, it's not funny. It's like, Candace, you don't know what you're doing. You don't get many people hurt. You don't get people hurt, like seriously hurt here. So lying about the lawsuit. At this rate, feels like she's gonna lose that lawsuit. She's not even reading the information. She doesn't accept any of the evidence. This is how she conducts herself when it comes to a lawsuit. So you imagine if Netanyahu filed a lawsuit against her for defamation. How would that look? Man, that girl, she would be in way over her head. But she wanted Trump to intervene when it came to the free speech part. She don't mind him intervening with that, with the free speech stuff. When the lawsuit was filed from the Macrons, I expected Trump and J.D. Vance to say something. Really? Did you? It's funny how you expected that. You wanted them to say something, but when he told you to stop talking about it, you couldn't shut up, Candace. When Trump called you and said, can you calm down on the first lady and her being born a man, all this nonsense, she looks like a woman to me. She said she kept going at it. And then the moment she got sued, well, where's Trump and J.D. Vance? They're not stunning you, girl. They told you to shut up. You didn't stop. So now it's, Charlie Kirk's death. It's like she just shifting from one thing to another. And y'all know she doing some jacked up stuff when you stop and take time to read about your sponsors that you have, right? Oh yeah, this is all sponsored by, Ranch Valley Farms. Why are you reading sponsors if you're talking about your friend who was executed on national television? Why are you doing that? It's the same reason why she's making money from lying on the first lady of France being born a man. This seems to be more of a way to keep her name out there and to keep her name at the forefront and to keep attention and eyes on her when it should have been on Charlie Kirk. For her to say she didn't go to that memorial or the funeral and she'll be listening to Kanye, that's some crazy nonsense. That's some crazy nonsense. And it really showed people who she is and what she's about. I'm sorry, if I got friends that I've been cool with for over 10 years that I love and I can consider them to be a sibling, and God forbid something happened to them, I don't care what people think about my friendship with that person. I'm going to their memorial. I'm going to their funeral. She didn't even think twice about it. She just said, I'm not going to go because this is something the feds put together. What do you mean something the feds put together? This is a memorial service that an organization that he owned and his family and his wife put together. What are you talking about? The feds put this together. And even if they did, so what? They can't arrest you for anything. Yeah, I think she's manic. I really think Candace Owens is manic. I think she's maniac. She's having manic episodes. And I went over manic episodes. That's a real diagnosis. Y'all check it out. Look it up. I'm telling you. Manic episodes. She's got all the signs of it. Lack of sleep, really erratic, fast speech, broken pattern speech, short attention span, almost hallucinations, and she thinks she's seeing and hearing things. It's just crazy. Don't trust these people. I can't read it all. And it's not even, I want to be fair here. It's not everybody that supports Trump. My understanding, she stopped supporting Trump. It's my understanding that Candace Owens stopped supporting Trump a long time ago. I'm not saying people aren't, some of them aren't, some of them are not bad, because some of them are. But they're bad people across the aisle. I'm speaking strictly to, can Trump do anything to Candace Owens to kind of get her to calm down? Not stifle her free speech, but to get her to calm down about this before she catch another lawsuit and get people hurt. Before she get, the Jewish people hurt and targeted for her rhetoric, where she has no evidence. Michael Savage went off on her. She's got, Ben Shapiro already let her go. But they're seeing her really unravel. And it's like, what are you doing? And she didn't go to that funeral memorial service. And this is my personal opinion. Candace did not go to that funeral, that memorial service, because she's a coward. She can't face his wife because she knows she's been saying some effed up stuff. She knows that she has no evidence or proof to back up any of the things she's saying. And she's getting tips here and tips there. And she's still not vetting that stuff. You got to vet a tip. Typically, you go behind the person sending you the tip and you vet it by making sure there's something to corroborate the information you're being sent. She's just taking and running with it. She's not vetting it. It's like that's sloppy work, Candace. It's sloppy. And it's ridiculous. That memorial, she should have supported her. It seems like she almost jealous, is not getting that level of attention that Erica Kirk is getting. And she's not thinking about like how this is going to backfire on her in 5 years from now. It's so crazy. Like the one you claim to be friends with him and you couldn't even go to his memorial service. Child boy. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. I thought it was bad when she was talking about the Macrones. Now she's really going off the deep end. And you guys, guess what they can do? In court, the Macrones attorney, they're going to use all that video footage of her going and losing her mind, having all these manic episodes all over national television. And they're going to use it to build her character. That's building the foundation to show character and intent. Because now she's blaming a whole group of individuals by their ethnicity on Charlie Kirk's death. She has a pattern of behavior of doing that. That's not going to fare well for her in court. That's why she needs to calm down. And she's not going to do that. So now she's going to find herself where there are people pushing to have Netanyahu file a defamation lawsuit against her. And she's going to find herself with another defamation lawsuit. And she can't keep crying out to Trump, help me, help me. No, you should have shut your ass up. She ain't going to be able to get that help. And he's not going to be stunning her. He already not stunning. I just think, if he's the only person that she'll talk to and can get through, he needs to try to say something, but he's not going to keep trying to fool speed and babysit her. She's a grown woman. So she about to catch it, y'all. She going to catch a whole nother lawsuit from Netanyahu at this rate. She really will. We've seen some things that are unprecedented happen. And I think, why sit here and ignore the things that are happening that she's saying and then not expect this man to defend himself? That's how you get the evidence in the documentation, and you get the truth out of situations. You get the facts. It may have to come through a lawsuit where she'll be forced to have to prove all this stuff she's been saying about Netanyahu and, Jewish people, anybody having anything to do with Charlie Kirk's death. It'll force her to have to provide evidence on that if he were to sue her. And that might be what ends up happening. Because otherwise, she ain't going to prove shit. She's not asking questions. She's making allegations that are being purported as a fact. That's the problem. She beyond asking questions. She beyond it. So, y'all let me know what y'all think. Because I just, like I said, I was not one to watch Charlie Kirk and all this stuff. I don't watch a whole lot of politics and stuff. I don't even like watching the news. It gives me a headache. But what I do know is when you're saying things and you pushing out rhetoric that's unverified and that could be more dangerous and cause people to get hurt and targeted. And that's a problem. That's a big problem. So she says she no longer supports Trump. I don't know what's going on. But yet she claimed that he called her and she's gleeful and happy about that until it doesn't work to her benefit. Then it's like, how could you let the French president file a lawsuit against me? Well, you might have another one coming from the Israeli prime minister if you don't shut up. You might have to deal with two on your hand. Then she really gonna crack and lose her shit. It's so crazy. I want her to produce some evidence on all this. It just destroys the credibility. She said she was willing to stake her whole reputation and career on Brigitte Macron being a man. Now they're about to present evidence to scientific evidence to the court, and she's sitting here lying about that, saying they didn't show anything. The case had. Now you got Charlie Kirk's death, and she's becoming even more unraveled. And Donald Trump is like, I'm just curious as to whether or not he will be able to talk to her. I'm just curious about it, because I don't want to see people get hurt. I'm just curious about that. And that's what the video, my live stream on Tuesday, is going to be about. I have like 3 videos of people saying, you need to shut up, Candace, because people are going to get hurt with your rhetoric. And then she's not going to want to be responsible if something does happen. So that's what we're going to talk about on Tuesday. We got a couple videos. Michael Savage went in on her. Another video that was sent to me from one of my fantastic mods. And then, of course, Nick Fuentes is really getting in her ass. I mean, good grief. My question is, where does this stuff end? You know what I'm saying? Like, when does this end with her? I don't get it. Candace, if I know you know better, you may have to end up losing your platform or losing a lot of supporters in order for you to come down out the cloud and sit down. God will sit you down if you get too high. He'll pull you back down. So I just hope that happens before somebody goes out and gets hurt. And someone's going out doing things in the name of Candace Owens simply because she said something in a video. It's so reckless, man. It's reckless. So y'all let me know what y'all think, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. I haven't seen most of these comments. I don't even know what y'all saying. I saw a super. Thank you for the super. I did see that because it came up blue. Thank you for the supers and stuff like that. Y'all hit the like button. Don't be rude. Hit the like button. 74 people watching. Let's go. And then we got some Umar stuff. Some more Umar videos to discuss. He's been on, having a tantrum because, he feels like he needs to be center of attention. Y'all make sure y'all check out the video I did about why these grown black men sitting here acting like cowards when it comes to Umar Johnson. Make sure y'all check that out. Let's get the views up on that one. Because Mark Lamont worried about a dissertation. No, idiot. You need to be worried about the fact that no one knows where their contributions dollars have gone. And some people have been donating for years. And this school is not even going to be a thing. It's not going to open. And people going to have to start getting their money back. That's what needs to happen. People got to start getting their money back. So, but I just wanted to chat it with you all just to get y'all thoughts on that. I'm sure Donald Trump and Candace Owens' relationship is not that solid. But I just wanted to get you all's thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think on this stuff here. I am almost at work. It was fun chatting with you all. I will be going live tonight. We're going to have our members only live stream at 7. Pick up on our Spanish class that we're learning and taking Spanish using Duolingo. And then be going live with the Umar interview he did with that Father Baba Yaga, whatever. Because I have not seen that full interview yet. I have not been able to just sit down and go over it with you all yet. I want to do that. So that and another video I want to cover. And we're going to do that. We're going to have a good time this evening, y'all. So y'all get your Kool-Aid and your popcorn and juicy juice and fruits and veggies ready. Because we're going to have a good time this evening. But until then, you guys take care of yourselves. Thank you all for hitting that like button. Thank you for the $2 super. Thank you guys for engaging in the chat. I don't know what you were saying, but okay. And I'll see you all this evening. Until then, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.